Howdy everybody, hope y'all are good. What's going on? How's it going? Happy Halloween, or Samhain. I think that's how you pronounce it, Samhain. If you are Wiccan or pagan of the sorts, whether or not you celebrate, happy day to you. It's good to see you. Yeah man, I'm not gonna waste too much of your time. I know you guys are busy, you got lives, you got all that kind of stuff, so we're gonna take a deep breath and we're just gonna hop right into it. Okay, we'll say a prayer as well. Alright, pray to God, Spirit, my guides, my angels, and my ancestors to help myself and the collective see the clearest messages for the highest good of all involved in our love and relationships for a timeless love reading or whatever wants to come out. I got the intro right this time. This is the first time in the past few readings I've been able to get the intro right. I don't know why, but hi. We're going to be using the Sorcerer's Tarot. If you want to book a personal reading or see any of my other services, it's in the description. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I love you and appreciate you for watching. We have a nice little family over here. And if you are returning, hello. I hope you've been good. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. We are in the in-betweens of the eclipses. I believe we just had the partial solar eclipse on the 25th, which I think is right around when I released the last reading, was on the 25th, I think. So yeah, we're in the in-betweens. We have another one coming up. I think it's on the 5th or something like that of November. Yeah, it's just a really good time to evaluate where you're at currently and where you want to go. So it's like at the first eclipse, along with all the new and full moons that we had going on, all the craziness that we had going on, really pushed us into this space of like, okay, really taking a deeper look at what's not working, what shouldn't be in our lives, and then the eclipse kind of washed a lot of that away, and now we're in this space where it's like, okay, it reminds me a lot of the 8-8 portal energy. Excuse me, my nose is really itchy. I don't know if you guys remember the 8-8 portal energy and a lot of what we went through, how it was very, I don't want to say jarring, but it really pushed us into that new space. This feels very similar. So it's like, it's almost like cyclical, right? Because of the way all these eclipse seasons and all these portals and stuff work. It's really cyclical, and it's really pushing us into this space of moving into that newness. And I don't feel like it's happening all at once, which is why I feel like this energy keeps coming up. It's incremental. And just the same way healing happens in cycles is the same way our growth and evolution happens in cycles. But let's just see what comes out. We're going to pull some cards. Give thanks to my guides, my angels, and my ancestors for any messages that you have for myself, collective, and anybody watching. Okay, we got some cards. We're going to start with those. So bottom of the deck, though, we have the Two of Swords. Could be crossroads, a decision being made, being caught in your head, maybe needing to make a decision of the mind over the heart. Yeah, because coming out, we do have the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands, right? So, I'm going to go and take the card under that as well. We have the Emperor, we have the Ten of Cups, and we'll leave it there. I'm just pulling from the bottom of the deck, by the way. I set it down and pulled from those. So, I'm going to be really honest, I'm seeing a choice. I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know why it's not even really funny. But I'm seeing a choice. This could be a choice between two people. This could be a choice between career paths. This could just be an overall decision to stand in your power and focus on your own happiness. Right? We're going to go and talk about these few cards for a little bit. Okay, so we have, given that we're doing love readings primarily, career and other stuff does come out, but for the most part, Spirit usually guides me to do love readings, as that's where most of my experience lies, which is why I like to speak on it. So this is why I'm seeing the decision. We're going to go ahead and actually just take it between these three cards. Okay, so we have the Emperor, we have the King of Wands, and then we have the Two of Swords in between them. That's how they came out. You saw how the cards came out. We got the Two of Swords that came out at the bottom of the deck, along with these other cards. So I just feel like there's a decision to be made. This can be between two people. I'm seeing it two different ways. We'll talk about both of those. So the first way, I am seeing two people. Okay, this could be somebody that, I don't know. I don't know who it could be that you have the past with. Like this Ten of Cups could be, associated with the Emperor here that did come out. That could be associated with somebody from the past. This could be a divine masculine. I don't really like putting too many labels on relationships. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I don't like to stick to like the twin flame, soulmate, they're all divine relationships to a degree, even karmic relationships. I just feel like we tend to place these labels on them to understand them and to give us a better understanding of how to maneuver and really navigate these relationships in a way that makes sense to our conscious mind. But a lot of the times these relationships are going to bring out subconscious patterns within us that are going to force us to make decisions, right? And so with the Emperor here and the Ten of Cups, this can be somebody from the past for sure, like somebody you have a family with, somebody you have kids with, somebody that has kids. Like Ten of Cups with the Emperor can be somebody who, like, you just have that really deep bond and past experience with. Whether or not that's a past life or not is aside from the point, but the fact of the matter here is, like, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Like there's a decision either between two people. This could be an Emperor and a King of Wands, but if I'm bringing out the Ace of Wands, I'm also seeing it where it's like, it's the decision to, it's kind of like a decision between focusing on yourself or to actually begin this again. Excuse me. It's like, do you want to start this situation over? I feel like you're getting a new opportunity with somebody. This could be a masculine figure. It's not gender specific. I don't really speak on gender with any of the cards. It's to whoever it applies to. It's just energy. I feel like you have an opportunity here to start over with somebody. This could be somebody coming forward after they've matured and are deciding to actually give this another go. Or this could be you deciding to focus on yourself, focus on building your empire, for lack of a better term, and really just focusing on what it is that makes you happy. But the fact of the matter is, it's like, by you making that decision, you're going to be getting this anyways, and I kind of feel like that's what's coming through. I feel like the Two of Swords here, I kind of want to clarify it a little bit. It doesn't necessarily feel like confusion or anything. I mean, if you take a look at the card, if you can get a look at it, get to focus maybe. I don't know, there we go. So it looks like she's holding a hawk, right? And she's standing in front of an ocean, and the ocean is very tumultuous. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like she's standing at a doorway, looking through to the future, trying to make a decision, trying to gain that higher perspective. It could be somebody like turning their back on a situation. This could be you. Maybe you've turned your back on a situation and have decided to just begin again within yourself. Again, take it how it resonates, because this message is coming through in a few different ways, like I've already spoken on. So it's either a decision between like two people, like a King of Wands with the Ace of Wands here, starting, new with somebody from the past that's passionate and willing to actually express that and show you that they care, or somebody who may be a little reserved, may not express themselves nearly as much, may not be comfortable expressing themselves, but you can see some kind of future here, or you have history with this person. I would like to pull some more cards, because these there's a lot of different messages coming through in these energies. So let's go ahead and pull some cards. Okay, that didn't take long. We're gonna just go and take these. Yeah, so we have Strength in the Star. It feels like a lot of healing that has gone on. I feel like I'm seeing two different things. Again, we're getting so many different energies, guys, and the first one I was picking up on was that there's a lot of healing in the situation. I feel like whatever it is you're dealing with, whoever it is you're dealing with, is really bringing you a lot of healing. Keeping in mind, like, these divine relationships will do that. Like, they'll be divinely guided into your life to really bring you into a space of learning how to stay strong and, like, just, like, stand up for yourself is what I'm hearing. I feel like, these cards here that we saw, they are a result of you standing up for yourself. And so now what I'm seeing, it's like you've learned from your past, you've learned from all the healing you've done. You know how to be strong. You're stronger than you think you are, but you recognize that now. It's not something where it's like you're questioning your own abilities or questioning whether or not you can be brave enough or courageous enough to stand on your own, but it looks like you've already done that. I feel like you kind of have turned your back on people, places, and things, keeping in mind, like, this totally touches on the message that came through for the JStarotservice Time with Love message that I did today on Instagram. This is basically the energy of what came out. It was the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. And the whole message was like basically using your intuition to navigate the new reality you're moving into. letting relationships fall away, letting people leave your life, letting, jobs, passions, whatever it is that's moving away from you or you don't feel as connected to, letting that happen. I feel like you have done that. You've made that decision to just turn your back on things that are not going to be bringing you what it is you want. And I feel like this is the energy you're moving into as well. It's also what I'm tapping into. Like, if we're focusing this on the individual opposed to like two other people, this is the energy you're embodying now. It's like you've matured and you're not afraid to go after what it is you want. And I feel like you're pursuing that. It's like that Ace of Wands, like you've revived that passion in yourself and in your life, and you're not afraid to take the steps necessary to go to what it is you want to go towards. And I feel like that's why you're also in this energy here, because it's like, because you made that decision, because you've just walked away from whatever and what, I don't even feel like you walked away. I feel like you just kind of turned your back on anything that was trying to pull you out of this energy. Keeping in mind, like, when you step into this new path or you step into a new reality, a lot of the times, just due to like energetic baggage, I guess you can say, the past will tend to try to pull on you a lot. It'll be like past people will come back around, past emotions will come back around. A lot of past energy will try to drag you back into your past because, well, I feel like in a sense it's comfortable. If I'm kind of seeing this in the scene of like, if you're like moving through like a tunnel, right? Like thinking like moving through like an energetic portal. Like, let's say there's like a portal and there's the other side of the portal. And there's like that in between. It's like we enter the portal of the eclipse. We're in that in between, moving towards the other portal. There's still the pull, the energetic pull. There's like energetic resonance in a sense to the past, because you do relate to the past because it is your past. And given, time is fluid. It's cyclical. It's not even something where I feel like it's linear to an extent. If you want to get into like, I don't even know the term, but it's the concept where like if you move further away from Earth, time moves slower, type of thing. So it's like time itself is like relative to space, right? Like time and space, I think it's like E equals MC squared. I don't know. I'm not a metaphysicist. I'm not going to get into all that, like all those equations and stuff, because I really don't know. I don't know all the stuff to talk about it enough, but this is what I'm talking about. The fact of the matter is, like, because time is fluid, because energy is fluid, because everything is connected, that's why I feel like there is a pull from the past as you're moving into this new space. And so I don't feel like it's an issue for you. I feel like it's something where like you already know you're strong enough now. Like, I feel like the universe is blessing you. This can also be a blessing from the universe, right? You're being blessed with the new beginnings. You're being blessed with the inklings of this new reality that you have been trying to manifest for so long, and now you're here because you are strong enough to maintain it. Realistically, you know what you're doing. Quite honestly, I don't feel like you're doing this without making the decision to do so. I feel like any moves you're making them because you know it's good for you, which doesn't mean why you're watching videos like these, whether or not it's mine or somebody else's. You're making those decisions because you know what's right for you. I'm going to pull from another deck. We're going to go ahead and pull from the the Golden Dawn Tarot. One of my other favorite decks. Talked about that last video. Yeah. Let's see what comes out. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip, because apparently my throat is acting up today again. I just don't speak as much as I was in the past, so like my voice is, I want to say raw. I've been recording a lot, so I don't know. I think it's just because it's like not morning time, but like I haven't used my voice today, so like sometimes on my way over, like I'll sing to music or something, and that usually like warm my voice up. But I did not do that today because I was listening to some new stuff that I'm not familiar with. So let's go and pull some cards. We'll give thanks to my guides, my angels, and my ancestors for any messages that want to come out for myself and the collective, clarifying, or any new messages or anything that you really want to bring out for us today. Bottom of the deck, we do have Hanged Man. Okay. We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Cups. Hold on, let me fix my mic. I really feel like you already know what it is you want. I feel like the universe is presenting you with a decision. The decision thing keeps coming up. We have Two of Swords, we have Two of Pentacles. This could be balancing, juggling, trying to gain composure over your thoughts. I feel like you just have a lot on your plate, right? We had the Ace of Wands, and now we have the Ace of Pentacles. You're having a lot of new beginnings, and I feel like it's not that it's creating conflict within you. It's just that I feel like you're trying to figure out how to balance all of that. And I feel like the universe is asking you to really dig into the past, not to go back to the past, but to remember what it is you went through. Remember what it is you learned. Remember when you were in this space, right? The Hanged Man, if you know the story of this card, this person goes into this space. I think, for me personally, whenever I see the Hanged Man, this reminds me a lot of the story of Odin. And if you know the story of Odin, his whole thing is he went on a search for wisdom. He left behind his whole kingdom. He dressed himself down into very tattered clothes, and he just went wandering. I think it was the World Tree or whatever it was he did, and he ended up just getting eviscerated basically by the world around him, because it was just, he did not know what was out there. And so the whole story for him is he ended up like hanging himself upside down, similar to this, for I don't know how long it was. He ended up like basically giving his eye to some cyclops or something like that, cyclopes. I don't recall the entire story. If you want to go look up the story of Odin, you can probably find some interesting bits and pieces in there. But this is the card that I always am reminded of when I see this card. I'm reminded of the story of Odin, and how a lot of the times wisdom doesn't often come without sacrifice. And I feel like that's what you're now seeing. I don't want to say it's like you have to give to receive, you have to like suffer to receive. I don't like giving into that whole concept of like the reward system of like you go through pain and you get good things from the universe, because that just means you're going to consistently repeat that cycle. I feel like you're coming out of that. You're realizing that like you don't have to continuously suffer to have beautiful new beginnings or to move in a new direction, really. I think you're making the decision to just like walk away from things that are keeping you in this cycle. Right now I'm seeing this as the cycle itself. I always find it really interesting. This is the Ouroboros, if you know the snake. I mean, it's not the actual circle, but I mean, is it not pretty much the same thing? It's one snake being grasped. And so what I'm seeing here, it's like you're taking control of this cycle. You're now in control, is what I'm seeing. The universe has given you the reins of your life, because you've learned enough to where you can make very conscious decisions that are going to move you away from things like this. I don't feel like you're tolerating much anymore. I don't feel like you're in this space of like, yeah, I'm going to continue to deal with disappointments. I'm going to continue to let people do this, do that. I don't feel like that's the case. Excuse me. I feel like you've learned enough now in this Hanged Man energy. You've really gained the wisdom necessary for this new beginning. And I feel like the universe is asking you to apply that now. It's this energy of like, okay, like you've already been through a lot, right? I mean, as all of us have that watch this channel, or that watch any, or that are just on the spiritual path in general. I know like I connect with a lot of like really high vibe and very spiritually inept people. And so inept or adept, I think it's adept, spiritually adept people. And which I'm very grateful for, because you guys reflect a lot of beautiful things back to me. And so I have no doubts that you're doing things that you're doing because you know that they're right for you. And you're not doing them because you're afraid of disappointment. You're not afraid of disappointment regardless. You're just making decisions and moving forward in the direction that you know you're supposed to be in, keeping in mind that that can always shift and change, and has a lot to do with what it is you want out of life, out of your spiritual experience, which also shifts and changes. Going back, I don't know why the story of Odin keeps coming back, but the whole reason he even went on that adventure in the first place was because he just wanted more wisdom. So he just like completely let go of his old life. He left the throne. I don't recall what happened, on the other side of that, but for him personally, that he just completely shifted his entire existence in search of wisdom. Apply that to how it fits to you. Maybe you're just completely changing your life all around. Maybe you're doing things that people aren't expecting. Maybe you're doing things that you aren't expecting, and it's because you're a new person. I feel like you're really embodying, I don't want to necessarily say like the truest version of yourself, because I feel like that's always changing. I know a lot of people like to say like, oh, you're becoming the truest version of yourself, but realistically, like, how does that make sense? Because it's like you're always shifting and changing, and if you're truly a reflection of everything and anything, like as above so below, then like, wouldn't it make sense that like anything could be the truest version of yourself depending on what you align with and what you're looking for, right? I'm just kind of rambling at this point. We're gonna pull some more cards though, see what comes out. Like, I know me personally, that's how I've been feeling. I'm gonna be completely honest. There's like a moment where I made a shift mentally, and everything kind of changed. And it wasn't necessarily that like anything actually changed, but because I just somehow really embodied a shift that I've been trying to embody for so long, just the way I look at the world, right? If I'm talking about love and relationships, I just completely shifted the way I looked at everything that was happening around me and recognized the fact that it's like I was completely okay with it. It was something where in the past I would have been like, you know what, this sucks, I would have dwelled on it, but I was like, you know what, this is exactly what I needed in a lot of different ways, because it is showing me how strong I've become. It is showing me that I know myself well enough to know when somebody or some relationship or job or place or thing is not for me, and I trust myself enough to know how to move forward from that. Whereas in the past, it would be like, oh, I recognize that the universe is showing me that this person may not be for me, or this job may not be for me, or this way of living may not be for me. So universe, show me what I have to do. Now the universe is like, okay, you already know when something's not for you, but you also now know what to do, right? And I didn't mean to rhyme, but that's how it came out, because we have the Four of Swords, and that's exactly what that is talking about. We also have the Judgment at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. If anybody's, this is from a while ago. When I used to speak about the Four of Cups, it would be this energy of applying everything you learned. If it was in reverse, right? I don't really do reversals as much anymore. This is that same energy where the Four of Swords can be resting. Yes, for sure. This can be the time of you taking time to really just rest before you move into the new phase of your life. I feel like that's a big energy coming through for me as well. The need to really integrate everything that I've learned, the need to rest and apply everything I've learned, so that when I do make a new decision, or I do move into a new path, or whatever it is I'm trying to do, I know that I'm making that decision because it is the right thing for me to do in that moment. And I feel like that's the energy coming through. That's why we had that Five of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Two of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles that just came out. Because it's like you've been in this space, and now you're really looking at everything. It's like you're getting a bird's eye view of every decision you've made, and you're now seeing how to move from that based on your experiential knowledge, opposed to just making decisions because you're afraid of this happening or you're afraid of this not happening. You're now making the decisions from a place of loving yourself and loving the world around you. It doesn't feel like it's just a self-centered energy anymore. I feel like it is an what's the word I'm looking for? Interdependent love for yourself, the people around you, and the world around you, and understanding that, like, you know, when people make decisions that they make, a lot of the times, more often than not, it doesn't have anything to do with you. And I feel like that's where that energy was coming through as well, especially with like the kind of decision energy we had coming out earlier. It's like I feel like you're kind of now, under that we do have the Ace of Cups, and I'm going to go ahead and say the Seven of Swords, and then the Ten of Swords, and I'll take the Hierophant as well. So these are all bottom of the deck cards that came out. So we already kind of talked about the Four of Swords. I feel like this is the energy that's coming through in terms of I don't want to say the calm before the storm, really not something like that. It's more so just like, it's like an intermission. It's like an interlude before you move into the next portion of your composition, if you will, the composition of your life. So Judgment. Oh my god, sorry, my throat is doing the thing again. Okay, it didn't help much, but we'll figure that out. So the Hierophant, well, hold on, we're going to talk about these three. I'll take Judgment afterwards. Alright, Ace of Cups, Seven of Swords, Ten of Swords. I feel as though, yes, you have been through some not so great stuff, as we have seen in the past. The Seven of Swords, it's not the best energy, especially if this is somebody who you may have, especially if this is applying to love and relationships, I should say. I feel like that was what was coming through for a while. The reading before the last reading was this kind of energy that came through. But I feel like we talked about, that's closing out. That's what this eclipse season is closing out. You're moving away from all of this energy. Whether or not you embody this energy, I feel like you are moving away from it. But I feel like it's a change in perspective more than anything. It's moving into a new mental space. And that's where this new beginning in love, this new emotional realization, this new focus on emotional independence, however you want to look at this card, this is the energy falling away, this is the energy coming in, right? I feel like this has already fallen away because it is 7 to the 10, so it's like that's already completely moved away. If you want to boil this down numerologically, that comes down to what? 17 boils us down to a 6. That can represent like balance and moving into calmer spaces and really moving out of that stagnant energy, and I feel like that's what's going on here. That's what I'm seeing. I feel like you have made a decision. Decisions keep coming through. That is the energy. I feel like you made the choice to not be held back by societal expectations or expectations of your family, expectations of your friend, of your coworkers, of yourself, and you're now trusting in your process, right? You're now trusting 3 aces, man. I mean, we had the Ace of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Cups. The only thing that we don't have so far is the Ace of Swords, but that's what comes after the 10 of Swords. So it's like you're mastering every area of your life at this point. And I feel like that's why Judgment and Hierophant is here. It's like you've made some very important decisions. That's why I feel like the decision energy has come through. Either you've made these very important decisions to focus on all of those new beginnings within yourself, which is why you're getting those new beginnings in love and career and whatever it is you're seeking. But more either that, or it's going to be coming into where you're going to be making some very serious decisions. I don't normally do future readings. I feel like I just read for whatever needs to come out. This could be future energy. I mean, it's timeless, you know what I mean? So if you watch this however long from now you watch this, it could apply. That's why I don't really do future readings, because they're timeless. But I feel like, I don't know, man, I feel like the universe has seen you make these decisions. I honestly just feel like the universe is stepping back a little bit. I feel like the universe is kind of like really empowering you right now and seeing like, okay, like you really got everything you need. You know how to make these judgment calls now. I feel like you stepped into that space. You've learned everything that these old ways of thinking have taught you, and you're now applying that. You're not stuck in that, but you're applying that. And now that's why you're getting all of these new beginnings. That's why you're getting all of this new stuff that's going on. If I can find it before I close out the reading, we're just gonna just for proof. I mean, you got it all here. The Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles. The only thing left is the Ace of Swords, right? But I feel like that's something that you're moving into through eclipse season, or whenever you watch this, honestly. Let's go ahead and close the reading out, because I am running out of time. Is it just me, or does it feel like this reading went by really quickly? I don't feel like I've been reading for 27, 28 minutes. Oh, look what, I was going to split the deck and look what came out. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of, so this could be in love, honestly. It's like you could be having a new start in a relationship and you're applying everything you've learned, or you can have somebody new coming in that's going to actually, you know, appreciate you and all those things. However it applies. Let's go and close this reading out before I run out of time. Okay, we're going to actually use the magical spell cards today. I know I normally use the animal deck, but spirits kind of tell me to use this today. So let's go ahead and close. I'm having trouble shuffling. Sorry, these are huge cards and my hands are kind of small, so if like in comparison it's like bigger than my hand. I have trouble shuffling these cards, so I usually have to shuffle and then pull instead of doing the big shuffle thing. Alright, so bottom of the deck is True Love Come to Me. It says, true love shall come to me as I do, so as I do will, so mote it be. Like I said, I feel like you're going to be getting a new start in love, or you're going to be getting a new relationship coming in that's going to be embodying all the things that you've been looking for. Okay. Next card out, we have card 28. It says knowledge. Let me connect above and below. Let the knowledge of ancestors flow. This is essentially tapping into the entirety of the message that we had. It's like you're applying everything you've learned from your life, your past lives, your ancestors' past lives, and you're really moving forward in a way that is going to be an embodiment of true love, both for yourself, the world around you, and the people in it, whether that's people from the past coming back, didn't really see much past energy. I feel like you're just moving into a new relationship, completely honest. I feel like there is a new energy coming into your life. You may already be involved with this person to a degree, but I feel like it is moving however it is moving, regardless, it's moving. That's kind of the thing, it's just moving, right? Creativity card 33. By all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. So I feel like this is kind of maybe moving into a new creative space. I mean, we did get Ace of Wands twice and the King of Wands. Whatever it is you're building, I feel like it is revolved around creativity. Honestly, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a tarot reader. Whatever it is you're doing, I feel like it is requiring you to move in a creative way. It's requiring you to apply your creativity to build your life in a way that is going to be in alignment with everything you've learned, if that makes sense. Not that you're not in alignment, but it's like, now that you know what you know, applying that and actually being creative about how you move. I'm actually going to pull from one more deck. I have a few more minutes. I thought I was running out of time quicker, but those messages came out quick because I really like using the animals deck. So you're getting a special extra message today for this beautiful day, which it is a beautiful day outside. Okay, final message. We have like 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes. Spirit, any final messages you have for us? Very grateful, very grateful. Thank you for all the messages you did give us today. It was a very, very nice reading. I enjoyed today's reading, and I hope you did too. And thank you for watching, by the way. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, I suppose, if you are not. And I dropped it on the side of my seat. Cool. Spider. It says, travel will open up new possibilities and one special connection. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, sorry, I'm like screaming. Didn't mean to scream at you. What I meant to say is, I feel like this is what I'm saying. You're moving into a new relationship, and I feel like it's going to be that one special person that you have been looking for. I know I don't like to instill like false hopes in readings or anything, or like to say absolutes, because everything is fluid, but it's kind of undeniable at this point. I mean, I used 2 different decks. They both said true love, come to me, one special connection, Ace of Cups, 2 Ace of Wands. This could be a new divine masculine coming into your life with the Emperor that we were talking about. This could be I just feel like you're going to be getting somebody that's going to be taking you very seriously. If it's not moving yet, it will be moving soon. Just stay hopeful, you know what I mean? Trust in yourself, trust in the universe, and trust your process. I love you so much. I really appreciate you guys watching. I forgot to mention earlier, I appreciate the comments, subscriptions, videos, likes, donations, likes, and all the stuff. I really appreciate you guys, but I have like 41 seconds left. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you want to see any of my other stuff, it's in the page. If you want to book a personal reading or see any of my other services, that's in the description. Yeah, you guys have a good day. I love you, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.